Hi, welcome in and welcome to my channel. My name is Aria Day and it's nice to meet you. I don't have a script for this, so this is gonna be really interesting. So before I even filmed my intro video, I was still struggling with the early side effects of my new medication, but there was a day that felt very much like a transitional period. I felt like dirt, but I had this well of motivation. So it was like I was kind of stuck because I wanted to do things, especially with writing, but it hurt to me. I was so fatigued. I had zero physical energy. So what I ended up doing, I sat down and compiled all of my previously completed work. Yes, it is all fan fiction. No, I will not tell you what fandom. I believe in fan fiction. I think it is a great way and one of the only ways for queer people to express themselves and to kind of, well, I hate to say learn because I would not recommend AO3 as a place to learn things, but I think it's a great way for people to explore their creativity and kind of learn themselves, if that makes sense. That's a conversation for another day. I'm getting very defensive, but I know how people are. So I've compiled all of my previous works that were complete and then compiled all of my current works in progress, or WIPs as I call it. I do not go WIPs. I can't. I would rather just say works in progress if I'm gonna say all that. So WIPs. And then also compiled all of my ideas. I say all, and so what I really mean is I went through all of them, but only noted down ones that I thought could maybe potentially one day be turned into something more. And I created a bulletin board. And so this whole introduction of me talking all about all of this is I filmed the process of me making the bulletin board just without me in it. You can see my leg and you can see me moving around, but I didn't want my face in it. I felt gross. I looked gross. I just was not doing well, you know? But yeah, and so I have, this video of me putting this together. I'm just gonna be totally honest, I don't even know how to go about this video. I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit. I even compiled stats, how those did on AO3. Views versus kudos. I did both, right? That was just interesting to go through, and it kind of helped me, I'm not saying that it helped me decide oh yeah, I'm not gonna do this one, but it just kind of gave me a better idea of what I was working with. And then also the top, the ones at the very top, even if there's one that I hate, I hate it, but it's one of my most popular works. And I'm I was sitting there thinking about it. I was I'll put it on the board. Do I want to rewrite it? Not necessarily, but in a weird way, I can see it being something that would potentially do well if it went through a lot of rewrites. So yeah, so I went through all the stats. I sorted things that way. I had little lists going. And then I just happened to have these neon index cards, and so I color coded everything too, by the way. I was very, very satisfied with that. But yeah, so I color coded for short story, novella, and novel, because I was really struggling at first with how to organize it. I was do I, at first I had kind of a chart going both going both ways. I can't do that. Wow. Go down. Wow, that's kind of the can you pat your head and rub your okay, so I'm looking at it now. So the top I had finished, WIPs, and ideas. And so then on the side at first I was do I put it here? I label it going up short, novella, novel, and then have it split like that. But I didn't like that. I was the lengths of my works are pretty imbalanced, and some of them I don't know what they'll end up falling into, because I'm notorious for being this is gonna be 5,000 words or less, and then it's 140,000 words. When the characters want to tell their story, they want to tell their story, you know? So I ended up doing the color coding thing, which I feel worked out really well for me at least. And as you can see on the board itself, there is a lot. There's a lot. I honestly think what overwhelms me more, like the most, is the idea section, because like there are so many things. And I actually forgot. I forgot, like, was it 1 or 2? I think I forgot 2. Because that was another issue, is like over the past couple of years, I've gotten so unorganized with all of my stuff that I had random ideas in Discord. I had random ideas in my phone notes. I had random ideas in like my screenshots because I was texting somebody about them. Like they were just all over the place. So that was another reason that I really wanted to do this. I feel like it was much needed for one. But yeah, so I actually did forget like 1 or 2, and 1 for sure, but I think it was 2. And so those actually still need to be added. But yeah, and then I went in after I got the board done. I went in and I sat for over an hour for sure. And I did the same thing basically on my laptop. Like I didn't create a bulletin board, but like I organized everything. Like I pulled everything. I cleaned up my Google Docs because that was also an overwhelming disaster, and just kind of threw everything into, it's still kind of chaos in there, especially in like the ideas one folder. I'm like, okay, I feel like I've done something. And then also, this is kind of a side note, something that is really interesting to me. So I had a MacBook a long time ago, and I had a bunch of really bad ideas written out. I mean, I say ideas, they were like, I had some like full-blown novel-length stuff written out. They're very bad, but you know, I was like 15, if that. I think I was actually like 14. That's not when I had the MacBook, but I think when I had the MacBook, I like went and found those and then like saved them too. And then like kind of long story short, like I had an external hard drive went kaput. And so I was like, dang, those are lost forever. And now I have a MacBook again. Like I got rid of that MacBook, and I don't know why, because they don't show up on my phone, but I discovered that all of those works, including, oh my God, including a treatment that I wrote for screenwriting class in college, that I thought that was lost forever. And that's what upset me the most, because I did a damn good job on that, okay? Like I got, like, I did good. And so I thought that was lost forever. It's on my laptop. I don't know. I guess it's something with like the MacBook of it all, but like I even went back and checked. I was like, have these been on my phone the whole time? Because it's in my iCloud drive. I was like, have these been in my phone the whole time? And I had no idea, but they're not. I went and checked. They are not on my phone. So yeah, so I kind of started going through those. I don't think any of those are salvageable. They are the ramblings and misconceptions and whatever of a 14-year-old who did not understand how the world works at all. But I kind of skimmed through one of them, one of the longer ones, and I was like, honestly, I was like, this is very bad. But I was like kind of getting an inkling, and I was like, oh, but hold on. What if it was like this and it was more like supernatural or even like post-apocalyptic? I was like, I could just kind of take this premise and just like turn it into something else. So that kind of thing is cool too. I kind of want to go through all of them now and just see if they like spark something, spark a future idea, whatever. But yeah, and I really also wanted to organize. I guess that's what the side column would have been. I also really wanted to organize kind of by genre to get an idea. But at the end of the day, most of my ideas are romance. So I feel like separating by genre would have been a little pointless. But also I'm having this whole like genre crisis. There's a whole video about it. It's probably going up after this one. That one's already like edited and done as I'm filming this, but I don't know when it comes out and like the chronology or whatever of everything. So yeah, that I have a whole ramble. It's not a rant, I don't think. It's just a ramble, and like it feels like an existential crisis in video form, kind of. But so that's a whole other thing. genre kind of confuses me sometimes, but that's one of the things that I want to learn. I want to get more familiar with. I want to explore my own ideas and just kind of, I guess, figure out what I'm capable of. But yeah, so I guess with all of that said, again, I don't have a script for this video. I'm just kind of like raw dogging it out here. I probably shouldn't say that, whatever. Too late now. I guess like goals is kind of where this is headed, right? My goal as of a few years ago, I had this big plan, right? I was going to make a short story book because I have so many short stories. I do still want to do that. I feel like that's a pretty hard market to break into. I could be wrong. It just feels like it's harder to sell like a short, I don't know. Because to me, if it was like, oh, this is an author's debut, then it's like, great, you can now see the different style or the different like styles of story that I have, the way that I write, like how my characters are, and it's all in like short form. But then like on the flip side of that, I feel like people aren't going to pick up a short story book from an author they've never heard of. And I could be wrong. I don't know how the writing world works at all, and that's a huge part of what this channel is, right? Like just kind of learning the ropes and figuring out how anything works. But I mean, it's not a very impressive collection, but like I started buying like books of short stories, and I like compiled which ones I wanted to go in the story. I think at the time some weren't written. I think they probably are now. I'd have to go back and find that old list. It's in a random notebook somewhere. But yeah, I think like right now, I'm not sure if that is first priority. I'm like, I don't know if the best move is to find my best short story and try and submit it places, or if I should just jump in to a novel and try and get that figured out, you know? So, I mean, with that said, it's like, it's tough. So what I want to finish, is it something I want to publish? I don't know, probably not. But what I want to finish is, I think I made the comment, was it in this video? Was it in the last video? I don't know. Oh, it was this video. So like I said earlier, you know, I have the problem of, I think something's gonna be like 5,000 words or less, and then it's 140,000 words long. So this is that project. I was aiming for 10,000 words actually, and then when it was like getting longer, I was like, so like probably 20,000, 30,000 tops. That's, you know, not over 30,000. That's where we're gonna sit. That's what we're gonna hit. And then it just kept going, and the story kept developing, and the characters just suddenly had this crazy, well, I don't want to say crazy backstory. I feel like the story overall is pretty cliche. Like, let me start there. I used to call it like my soap opera serve. I finished this draft 2.5 years ago. I used to call it my soap opera serve. Like, it's dramatic, it's cliche, it's got fake dating, it's got evil parents, it's got, you know, like traumatized past. I don't know. Am I selling it? But my thing is I think it could potentially be marketable, but it's so long and I can't figure out how to cut it down. And I say 140,000, it's really longer than that now. That's how big the rough draft was. But then I had to go in, I stepped away from it, not intentionally, for 2 years, and then was like, okay, now I have to go in. Second draft is gonna be about rewriting the beginning. Like, I have to do some actual world building because it went from a 10,000 word like short story basically to a 140,000 word monster. And so there was no proper world building. It just kind of like jumped in, and like the pacing is so off in the first like 30,000-40,000. And then also like I need to start planting these seeds for all of the things that end up happening, because, and then like characters' names change, and it was just, it's a clusterfuck, okay? I started doing that in June of this year, I think, and then I got halfway through chapter 4 and my brain shut down. And I have a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt about this story, and you know, there's a part of me that's like, is it even worth wasting my time on, I feel like I really need to finish it. It is a story that is important to me, and if you feel like I'm being kind of reluctant, it's because I didn't expect it to be. Like whenever I started writing this, I was actually in the middle of plotting and starting to write this other story that really does mean a lot to me. And to this day, I have not gotten past the first few pages. That's just how writing has been happening for me, but hopefully that's changing. That's what this is all about, right? So I was in the middle of like this. I was so excited about it. It's like a two novel situation, and I was so passionate about it. And then I think I don't know if I got stuck on that one or if I just kind of got a like tingle of inspiration for this like fake dating evil parents one. But I think I probably started working on that one, and I was like, it's gonna be knocked out super fast, like it's, you know, whatever, and then I can jump back into this other project. And then I didn't. I just kept writing it, and then I was like, wow, I'm seeing this through until the end with no baiter, like no one holding my hand the whole time, which is, you know, a big thing. For me, I like wasn't really talking to anybody about it. Like it just spiraled for one, and then I just suddenly had this complete draft, and then I was like, but nobody can read it because the beginning doesn't make sense. The beginning has to be fixed, and then I can like get eyes on it. So then I like immediately jumped into writing the second draft, and I think I got maybe a couple of chapters in and got stuck. And so then I started a new project. Again, something that was supposed to be short, just a little distraction, a little reset for the brain. I spent 2 straight years working on that project. In a very huge plot twist, it ended up being one of my favorite things that I've ever done. My favorite characters by a landslide that I've ever written. I think I was trying to use it because I felt like I wasn't doing a good job in the like fake dating, evil parents, whatever. I felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job with conflict and whatever. Also complex characters. Everyone felt a little flat. And so this new project that I started to distract myself for a little bit, I was like, I'm actually going to create like these very complex characters who have this conflict that they have to face head on, and just kind of like see where it goes. And it ended up being this ongoing project for 2 straight years. It ended finally like the first day of June this year. I say that I was live posting like as I updated, and it like for me, it wasn't doing like crazy numbers or anything, but for me, it was like the best, I think. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you look at it, but it had a lot of engagement, and a lot of people really cared about the characters, and like I was getting so many messages that people were learning like about these different like personalities and sexualities and like ways of being, and like the story was like meaning a lot to them too. And so it turned into this whole thing, and like that is all I worked on for the 2 years. Like I had short little things here and there, but that took up my life, and I think that was a story that I needed to tell. I feel like kind of emotional talking about it. That was absolutely a story that I needed to tell, and I think like by the end of it, I was like telling people that I was like, this was for me. Like I'm so glad that everyone enjoyed it, but this was for me. I needed to tell the story. I needed to explore these characters and just everything. It means a lot to me. It is on the board. It's one of those things where I think probably realistically it won't make it to like a rewritten push for publication kind of thing. 1, because it means so much to me, but for 2, the way that I formatted it, the way that I told the story, I don't know how to put that in book form. I just I really want to. So you know what, maybe that is an upcoming goal. Try and figure out how to re-outline that project and see if it would be possible. It would definitely, like, oh, it was well over 200,000 words. I don't remember exactly, but I think it would, like, we could safely say that it was like pushing 300,000 words. So that's a lot. Obviously, like, a lot of things could be cut. A lot of things were not necessary. It was just like fun little like fluff things. I don't know. So I guess, wow, I didn't expect this to turn into this, but I guess that is a goal. That is a goal. Is to maybe try and figure out a way to outline the story. It spans like 7 years, or well, 6 years. It's kind of complicated, it's fine. But the story, it spans several years, and I think that makes it a little bit hard to put it in book form. I know there are ways that I could do it. I need to figure out something that feels right if that is something that I want to pursue. But yeah, so there's that. Anyway, so then I finished that and I jumped back. I was like, okay, it's time to work on the second draft of this like fake dating evil parents. I need a better name for it. I think, what did I call it? Did I name it on there? Or no, I think I literally put fake dating evil parents. So yeah, I jumped right back into trying to get through the second draft, and that is when I got midway through chapter 4 and then just kind of fell off. There is kind of a backstory for that. I don't want to, like, it's whatever. Not for camera. Yeah, I don't know. I lost the spark. And that was like, I think that was in June. Now it's November, and 3 days ago, this would be day 3, I properly wrote for the first time since June. And the past 3 days, like, I have written like over 8,000 words, spoiler alert, because I'll be in the weekly vlog. But yeah, so that was several months of me just not really writing anything. There were tiny things here and there, but nothing significant at all, and that was really starting to eat away at me. So this bulletin board, it made me feel really good. It gives me a lot of hope, and I guess I haven't really come up with proper goals, right? So one is to try and re-outline that story that means a lot to me. Why am I not revealing which one it is on them? I don't know, but that's just what my brain wants right now. We're not going to talk about it. 2, I would like to finish the second draft of this story. I feel like I want to finish the second draft like as it is, like make it all work and flow. And then third draft, if I decide to go that far, would potentially be how in the heck to cut it down. It's like every time I look over that story, I'm like, this happens at 30,000 words, this happens at 50,000 words. How is there still 90,000 words to go? And then it keeps going. So like, I don't know. I have tried, I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things that I'm gonna have to go through it scene by scene and do does this progress the plot or character development? Yes or no? And see if there's anything I can cut that way, like mark everything and then go back and be like, okay, like, is this, I don't know. I just feel like am I wrong? I feel like no one would read this like super dramatic angsty romance that's like 150,000 words. Am I wrong? I feel like romance books are usually shorter. Then again, I don't know, they have those like thick, tiny ones, the really small print. Maybe that is what my wheelhouse will be. I don't know. So the re-outline, the second draft, and then I think also, I will say, I kind of like dismissed it earlier, but I think it should be a goal of mine to still compile things together for a short story book. I do also, I talk about this in the genre video, but I actually want 2 short story books, sort of. Don't really know how to go about any of this yet, but I kind of want one that's just like regular, fluffy romance, whatever, maybe small little problems. And then I would like to have one that is like explicit, because I do have several short stories that are. Now, like, I don't want them to be mixed together. And then I'm like, I don't know if I want them to be, okay, we're not getting into this again. Oh my God, that's the genre video. I went on about it for like 20 minutes. It was actually 30. I cut it down to like 22, I think. Anyway, so I think that I will kind of like look at the short stories, see what maybe like seems like it would work well together, and maybe start like reformulating some of those. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have rambled for so long and I don't know if I've said or done anything substantial. That's why I need a script, guys and gals and non-binary pals. But yeah, I don't know. I guess this is the part where I ask the void questions and hope that somebody answers me. Have you ever done something like this bulletin board to kind of organize your projects and or thoughts visually in front of you, or have you done any like something else to the same effect? And I guess like, how has it helped you in moving forward? Does it just serve as motivation, or is it really like a checklist where you can be like, okay, done, done, done? I guess that is my question. If you've made it this far, thank you so much, and I'm so sorry. No, I'm just kidding. So seriously, thank you for being here. I appreciate anyone who is willing to sit through me just rambling about this, because I don't really have anyone to talk about this with right now, and so I just the camera and the void, YouTube gets it. So yeah, I don't know. I also am just like, I'm just excited to be doing this again and to be like focusing on my writing again. And yeah, I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. It's fine. But no, seriously, like if the vibe is for you, please stick around. Like, you are welcome here. But yeah, anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.